Good morning, Blue Troopers. First off, I'm planning to go ahead and do a live stream today at 3 o'clock. I haven't got a lot of subjects to cover, but I did come up with a few things. And right now on the agenda, one thing after training, I kind of mind dumped, I have to get cracking on, is doing the addendum to the Glencoe video. And I want to get moving on that today. And I'm provided the phone doesn't ring and they send me off for operating experience, I shouldn't have any trouble getting that done this week because I don't have much on the agenda now that the holidays, the first holidays essentially behind us. So I want to get that done and then get started on the principal photography for the diorama, which by the way, I took some pictures last night and I'm going to probably talk about this today. I used to know a fair bit about photography, but like anything else, when you don't do a lot of it or you only do one thing, they get rusty. So I re-educated myself, and I realized one of the problems I was having with the photographs was the focal length, getting a lot of the stuff in focus at the same time, and that involves what's referred to as f-stop. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know a lot about photography, but the simple math is the bigger the f-stop, like f22, the longer the area that stays in focus, or the more the focal length. And you start getting to apertures and stuff. It isn't really important to know that. What's important to know is dial up the f-stop. The more the number of the f-stop goes up, the more depth of field you have that'll be in focus. And I took some photos last night that I'll probably show you today that turned out a little bit better. I still have to work with the ISO and get the lighting right and everything, but so I'd still need to do some more photography experiments. If you remember those earlier photos, really only one small area would be in focus at one time. Well, we'll talk about that at the live stream too. And in fact, this will be pretty short because we're going to cover a lot of stuff at the live stream. One of the other things we talked about models for girls, and most of the things you guys had recommended, like models of animals or models of pop stars and things, people had done. And Andy sent me a great email today with lots of images of box art, which I'll show at the live stream where they did that. And what I didn't realize was, and we'll get into it, he talked about one of them, I think it was Perry the Squirrel, one of them. Apparently weren't some of these Revell kits, you didn't paint them, you had this fake fur you put on them, and I'll again go into more detail. Apparently that didn't turn out to be too popular either, but hey, points for trying. And so just starting to kind of get back in gear on things. Still not putting out as much content as I was because I actually need to focus on getting some work done. I did get started on the Golden Knights Twin Otter and actually have it partly painted and everything. I have to, I've got the black on it. I have to tape off that and then put a cover over all of the glass. And unfortunately, the windshield on it moved a little bit. And the one complaint I have with that kit is the windshield doesn't fit very well, and it didn't seat very well. And now that I've got it all together, it's a little different, but it's still glued in place. It's not something like oh my gosh, but if you take a close look at the model, you're going, windshield needs to be seated. And another thing I thought we'd talk about today is scratch building. Mark H sent me some pictures of some race cars, some of which were, I think were Formula One cars, some of which were scratch built. And I look at some of the scratch built models I saw on display at the Smithsonian Museum, and it's just amazing what these people will do with stock plastic and just start bending and heat treating and shaping and filing and sanding, and they're in a whole nother world. But other than that, that's really about all I have for this morning. I just wanted, because we're going to go into a lot of this at the live stream, and so we'll be talking about those things and anything else you want to talk about. And you can reply to this or shoot me an email in the next couple hours, and if you've got a subject you want to talk about that I can dig up some information on between now and then I'll be glad to do it. One of the great things, one of my favorite things about this channel is I'm kind of the jack of all trades but master of none. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. Most of it kind of orientated towards the written histories or published histories of these companies. I'm working on one on bill topping and topping models, which of course were display models. They weren't actually kits, but there's some interesting stuff possibly going on there too. And but you guys, everybody collects their knowledge because you guys all have a lot of specific knowledge, very deep in a certain area, and that's it's a great place for us to exchange information, enjoy the hobby and everything. By the way, as you can tell, we're getting rain down here in Florida today, kind of a glum day. So I probably won't be out in the tarbus today. I'll be mostly working on the computer today. I really want to get cracking, get some of that Glencoe stuff up, and I need to practice my photography. And so those are my two big things for this week, or three big things. Get to work on the Golden Knights plane, get the diorama photography started, and also get the Glencoe addendum done, and but kind of in reverse order. So, coffee. Well, that's about all I have for right now. Hope you guys are having a nice day, and hopefully we'll see you at the live stream, 3 o'clock East Coast time, 2000 Zulu, and again 2 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Mountain, and noon on the Pacific Coast. I have no idea what time it is in Europe. So again, thanks for viewing this morning. We'll see you later, and model on.